Greetings and salutations to you all. Once again, it is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and this is a little bit of a rant video towards Nintendo. Uh, that has to do with the fact of, apparently, they're discontinuing the NES Classic. I don't know why this is. I really do not know why this is. That was something that was going to print money for Nintendo. Hell, it practically did with how fast it sold out. I don't get that. You know, it was like when the Wii first came out, people really jumped on it and they were buying a lot of them apparently, and they didn't market the Wii U properly, so it didn't sell as well, and that was one of the reasons for the Switch coming around. So hopefully the Switch will make back for that, but at the exact same time, you got the NES Classic that everybody was just going gaga for over around the holiday season when it got ready to come out, and supply and demand was not met with it at all. And I'm just like, if that didn't happen before, then why can't that happen now? You know, all this talk about, oh, well, Nintendo has money in the bank. They got money in the bank. They got money here. They got money there. They got money everywhere. They got money coming out of their ears. They got money coming out of their ass. And I'm dropping change on the floor. Speaking of money. They got money. Well, if that's the case, then all this money that they would have, you would think would actually go into the production of making more money by creating more NES classics for people to be able to buy. Actually having more production come out of it, putting more systems out, actually have where stores are able to stock these things up. I can't even believe I even managed to find one. I ended up doing a video, as a matter of fact, of me finding one. I couldn't believe it. I was at Walmart one night, and I told myself, you know what? I've been by the electronics section so much over the past few weeks or few months now, and never found a Nintendo Classic. I said, I'm not even going to bother with it. So I just said, you know what? I'll go ahead and check it out. Sure enough, I did, and I found one there. It was the only one that they had. And granted, I haven't gotten 2 controllers for it. I've only got one at press time. But I was surprised that I found it, and I was glad that I did. And everybody talks about, well, why don't you emulate this, or use emulation this and emulation that? Well, there's pros and there's cons to emulation, and I've never emulated anything. I've seen emulation done, but I've never done it myself or nothing like that. And I told myself, you know what, I'm mainly like a physical kind of guy. So I said, if I ended up buying these cartridges separate for my Retron 5 that I have, it would cost more for me to get these games on cartridges, since cartridges cost out the ass. All the classic cartridge stuff costs out the ass. Why that is, I'm not really sure. But, scalpers want to scalp people off with the money. The thing is that I said, why don't I just go ahead and get this? And of course, I've heard that you can hack it and put like 60 to 90 or 64 to 94 games, something on it like that. I haven't done that because I've heard there's been instances where the system could actually brick. So why would I chance that if that was going to happen? I'd just have a brick. I'm like, oh, well, there goes $60 right out the door. So I haven't bothered with that. I'm just going to stick with what games are on it and leave it at that. But I just don't know why Nintendo is doing this. I don't know. I don't understand it. I really do hope that when they come out, hopefully, I'm hoping that they actually come out with an SNES Classic, and because I know that one will sell gangbusters. I mean, I know for sure that I would end up, picking one up, because there's a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but there's a good handful of SNES games out there that cost out the ass. And if the SNES, and I've been victim of it, I'll admit it. I gave in and bought a couple RPGs that were like 50 bucks, 40 to 50 a piece, something like that. There was a couple of them that I had done that with. I think I got one that was like maybe 25 to 30, something like that. But anyways, the fact of the matter is that I did give in to that, because I was like, I don't know where I'm ever going to really be able to play these in their original form and whatnot. And I know about the whole emulation thing, but sometimes that stuff can be faulty, and I don't want to deal with faulty. I don't want to troubleshoot. I don't want to do that crap. I just want to have it the way that it is and the way that it's meant to be, and for me to be able to go ahead and play it instead of having to do this and do that and do this and do that. Have to go through all this tech work just to get emulation to work. I mean, I've seen it done before, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to deal with it. If I can't find a good price on something, then fuck it, I'm not going to buy it. But when at that time I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get these. I had the money at the time. I said, I've really been wanting to play these on SNES, so I went ahead and picked them up, which was let's see, what was it? I got Secret of Mana and Evermore, Secret of Evermore, something. I don't know. But anyways, if they actually ended up coming out with an SNES Classic and it had the RPGs on there that I don't have, that I really do want, and it would be cheaper for me to buy that and have those games on there, I wouldn't even give a piss what other games are on there. You know, you gotta have you gotta have Link to the Past though. I have not played Link to the Past, as a matter of fact. I know, oh, blasphemy! You ever played Link to the Past? It's one of the greatest Zelda games ever. You know, I haven't played that. The closest that I've got to dealing with that has actually been A Link Between Worlds, because I heard it was like a prequel or a sequel to that, because it was going back to that style again. But no, never actually played Link to the Past. Seen it played, checked it out, all of that, but never actually did it myself. And I was, I'm just like, I hope they do that. And I hope if they do that, that they'll release more out there for people to actually buy. I don't understand this. I don't believe anybody anymore about, oh, Nintendo has all the money in the bank, and they can make this and they can make that and they can do. It's bullshit. That's all that it is. Because if it wasn't bullshit, Nintendo would actually end up putting this towards making more money, which by putting out these systems that would print money, like the NES Classic. People are still wanting that. There's a lot of people who didn't get one that still want it. And you have these asshole scalpers online that are ripping people off. And the people that go and buy them are just as stupid because of the fact that they want to go and buy those like $100, $120, $200. Are you stupid? Are you really that dumb to go and give in to scalpers that are doing that to you? Seriously, they're just ripping you off of money. Give them a big fuck you and say, no, I'm not going to pay that price. So they can either drop the price or take it off or whatever, because that's bullshit. It's bullshit. And that whole, oh, Nintendo's fun, dude, yeah, that's a bunch of crap. If they have so much of this money in the bank, they would put it towards their company to make more money by releasing more of these systems. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't. You're trying to act like Nintendo is immune to everything in the industry, and it's bullshit. And Xbox, Sony and Microsoft are beating them into the dirt. So I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear it. That's just that's just like Nintendo fanboys to me is what it seems like. And it just irks my nerves that something that really could end up making them more money is just like being thrown out the window. I mean, honestly, you're pricing it at $60 and everybody wanting to be able to pick them up, and they could go and end up grabbing one of them and just make more money that way. It's just like that old saying goes. You have to spend money to make money. And obviously that doesn't seem like what Nintendo is doing. So I had to get that out there and say that. It's if Nintendo ended up having so much money in the bank, they would be able to oversee this stuff and make more money off of it. Yet Sony and Microsoft they probably, I don't know how much money they have in their little bank or imaginary bank of wonderfulness or whatever the case may be, but they're apparently selling a whole hell of a lot more than what happened like with the Wii U beforehand and stuff like that. So, that whole Bank of Nintendo thing is Bank of Nintendo. That's exactly what it should be, because everybody wants to talk about, oh, they got money in. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can believe that little fantasy, but I don't believe that just by one of their actions and things that they're doing. I don't believe it at all. But anyways, I just want to go ahead and get that out there and have that little bit of a rant, because I feel like it was warranted for me to go ahead and say that and get that out there. But anyways, yeah, guys, if you want to have a bit of a discussion, just leave a comment below, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and all of that, and we can get a little talky talk going with it if you want. But yeah, man, it's terrible. I mean, it just kind of brings to mind, it's like they were really good with the Wii when they released it. They didn't advertise the Wii U for shit, and it went down the drain. And then here it is with the NES Classic. I'm wondering if it kind of has like a flipping effect on it, like maybe with the NES Classic, like it's like, oh, we sold such and such amount, now we're just not going to make any more. And maybe if they end up bringing out a SNES Classic, maybe they would probably release more of them and actually, make more money that way. So, anyways, but yeah, so that's my little 2 cents on it. So I will end this like I always do. Later, taters.